What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. I'm your host, SERG VICENTE, and this is episode 353 of the show. So check it out. Usually we go ahead and we recap all the biggest fight news of the weekend. It usually pertains to, UFC. We'll get some Bellator in there, some big boxing news. But I'll be honest with you guys. This past week, it was a little different. Not only did we not have a UFC card this weekend, the first time in like 5 or 6 weeks, but we also didn't have any big boxing fight. But what we did have was a litany of different type of combat sports entertainment, and we'll go ahead and break that down for you. So check this out. We're going to go ahead and break down one on Prime Video 1. We'll talk about that as well as one 160. We'll also talk about KSI, what he's doing over in the boxing room with the zone, as well as some Bkfc, which is going to be fantastic. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. The absolute best card, the best combat sports of the weekend has to be one on Prime Video 1. And one thing that I loved about this card was obviously, I'm a fan of One Championship. And yes, does Chatri Sitsong, the owner and CEO, inflate some of their numbers? Of course. Are they a little facetious in the way they break down, how great the talent and everything is? Maybe. But you know what? I appreciate what One Championship does, because at the end of the day, they're the one other organization that does it completely different from the UFC. They have kickboxing, they have grappling, they have Muay Thai, they have MMA, they have mixed rules matches. They're doing it. They have matches in rings, they have them in the cage. They do stuff that's so different, and then also they have the Asian rule set where we're getting not just soccer kicks, but we're getting knees to grounded opponents on the ground. So we're having all of these things, and it is something that is great that we're not only seeing in MMA, but we're also seeing in the US market. The fact that they're now with Prime is fantastic. Are they going to surpass the UFC? No, I don't see that coming. But I'll be honest with you, they're a great alternative to watch. Not only do you have, obviously, Bellator and, in my opinion, the best thing going right now, which is probably the PFL, but obviously you also have the UFC. So all of this is going on. They're reaching an American market, and people can see how great One Championship is, as well as the talent that they have over there. But leading this card, the main event, first of all, absolutely delivered. Not just the main event, the main card delivered. This is the first one they had on prime time on on Amazon Prime, and it was great. Everybody, there was finishes all around. You had highlight the viral finishes in Muay Thai, and all the way up and down there was matches that mattered, so it was a really, really good time on that one. All right, but one thing I will say, let's go ahead and go to the main event. The main event, Demetrious Johnson goes out here and defeats Adriano Moraes via, I'll say, viral flying knee in the fourth round of their matchup. Yo, what sweet revenge. A year ago, we were saying that Ben Askren was the winner. Should I say the UFC was the winner of the trade between One Championship and the UFC. Look, man, if we're looking at it, this dude proves time and time again why he's a legitimate GOAT. He took an L. He came back. He fought Rodotang, who is a fantastic kickboxer in a mixed match rules. Goes out there, finishes that, and goes out here and fights a guy. And here's the thing: we're calling them flyweights. He's not fighting at flyweight. He's essentially fighting at bantamweight, essentially because of the rehydration clauses that they have in One Championship. So you have this dude here that, not only is he the flyweight guy, he's fighting a guy who is much larger than him in Moraes. And look, first couple rounds were dicey. I'm not going to lie. Moraes is great. He was able to get on top a couple times, threatened with a couple submissions, but DJ continuously proved that, honestly, he's the better guy. He moved forward. He started landing big power. And then when it boiled down to it, at the end, the knees, the pressure, I think, really got to Moraes. Big right hand, and then the way he was able to time the flying knee. it was, I mean, it was one of the most artistic, beautiful things that you'll see in combat sports. If you haven't checked it out, go on the Fight Pod social media pages, you'll see it there. But absolutely salute to Demetrious Johnson, who goes out there and wins the flyweight championship in one championship. And I mean, continues building on his legacy. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Who is he going to fight next? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's DJ. He is putting on a show for the people, and we absolutely got to love it. All right, moving right along. The rest of the card, absolutely fantastic. A lot of fun. But that wasn't the only fight action of the weekend. Actually, before we go there, rating. Let me go ahead and rate Prime one on Prime Video 1. If I have to rate that event, man, I'm telling you right now, in a scale of 1 to 5, honestly, I'm gonna give it a 5. Granted, Prime's platform is a little clunky at times, but aside from that, it was really good. I mean, it comes right on, it looks amazing, and honestly, the fight's delivered. As long as the fight's delivered, I think, and it's accessible. So you have something that's really accessible. There's no double paywall like the UFC and ESPN have. It was just right there for you. Really dope. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. It is a little hard to find, but once you find it, you'll figure it out. It's great. All right. Also this weekend we had something that was a little different. It was and how do they say this? They called this MF and DAZN, right? So it was Misfits, which is KSI's promotion, and DAZN X1. So it's their new big event that they're doing over there, which is actually pretty cool. But KSI goes out there, puts a whole card on DAZN. He has 2 fights this one. So he has to fight this dude named Swarms, who's the first guy who was a buddy of his, another YouTube guy. And look, KSI goes out here. I'm not going to say KSI is great, but the other guy he was going against really wasn't an athlete. So he goes out there, second round, gets rid of him. First fight of the night. There were some other ones out there. His brother goes out here, fights. More YouTubers go out there and fight. And look, yes, this is something that I'm glossing over, but it's fun. It's fun. People like it. And at the end of the day, there's a lane for what these YouTube guys, the Jake Pauls, the KSIs of the world are doing. And they're doing a great job. They're selling out arenas in that demographic that he's in, that generation that they're from. They like it. They got True Gordy going out there. Not granted, I'm gonna say this, man. The True Gordy and those announcers, they're just dragging fools left and right. I mean, I don't like that in my announcers, but if that's what it is in this realm of stuff, good for them. And it seems like the zone partnered with them, and it works for that British market. I love it. So KSI goes out there and gets the first dub. Second time he goes out there, and this guy was supposed to be a pro boxer in the main event. Luis Alcazar Pineda. And look, I'm telling you, this dude was terrible. Yeah, I've never seen somebody going out there trying to get out of a fight, continue complaining about things being, to the back of the head, his back. Dude didn't want to fight. It was terrible. Fight ended up getting stopped in the third round. Thank goodness. KSI, look, is he a world beater? No. Is he fun? Absolutely. And as long as he can continue making matches like this with other fellow YouTubers, Jake Pauls of the world, granted, I don't see that happening, but if that happens, it'll be great. People love it. I'm not mad at all. Salute to KSI for selling out that event. And on top of that, what they announced, which is part of, these type of events, the Misfits and the Zone, and I think they're calling it the Zone Connection 2 or something like that. And Hasim Rahman Jr. is actually fighting Vitor Belfort in that one. So this is interesting. I thought this was one of the bigger news that came out of that event. This honestly, I think, will be a harder fight for Hasim Rahman than the Jake Paul fight. I think this might be something that look, it's either going to be a shit show or it's going to be a lot of fun. Either way, whatever they're doing over there with KSI and DAZN, again, there's a lane for this kind of celebrity, former athlete, current guy who's not that great. This is what they're doing. Salute to them. That fight's happening October 15th. All right. Last thing we'll get into was Bkfc 28 Albuquerque. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. Bkfc bare knuckle isn't necessarily for me, but there is a type of athlete, an athlete that maybe is a touch slower from MMA, but they're naturally gritty guys. Mike Perry's of the world, these gritty, tough dudes who can hit hard as all get out, but at the same time are, just kind of dogs really excel in BKFC. One of those guys is John Dodson. John Dodson, someone who always had crazy knockout power, somebody who always was a legitimate title challenger against, a Demetrious Johnson. Went out there, just crushes his opponent in 40 seconds. First round, he gets his Ryan Benoit out there. And then also on that card, Christine Fiera goes out there and also defeats Taylor Starling. Look, this isn't for me, but again, there's a lane for it. And I'm not mad at what they're doing. Out of all of the bare knuckles, obviously, I think BKFC is doing it the right way. They're getting some big names. They have Bull Cow coming over there, as well as Sang Chai from Muay Thai. I mean, look, they're doing some stuff. Is it cringy at times to watch? Yeah, man. But at the end of the day, look, they're putting butts in seats. They're paying people. And out of all of them, this is the best one. And like I said, there's a lane for it. All right. Look, in terms of the weekend, it was slow for the highest of quality combat sports, but there was still combat sports, and we're still going to come here and break it down. So check it out. It was just about 10 minutes or so. That's our time today. We're breaking down everything. This is our weekend recap in 10 minutes or less. If you like what you hear, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Everything. The Fight Podcast is everywhere, available everywhere podcasting is available. Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out. Also, we got some stuff, Etsy, Dope Shop. Check that out. All right. Love you guys. We will see you next time right here on the Fight Podcast. Peace out.